Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a full movie overview for the movie Incantation. The movie opens with Lee Ronan explaining to the audience that 6 years ago she violated a religious taboo which has passed as a curse onto her 6-year-old daughter, Dodo. Ronan then requests the audience to look at a symbol that she shows until we've memorized it and tells us to chant an incantation in order to lift the curse off of her daughter. The symbol and the incantation are shown throughout the film to encourage the viewer to memorize it and pray to help save Dodo. The film then shifts to 6 years back where Ronan, her boyfriend Dom, and Dom's cousin Yuan are traveling to meet Dom's family who invited Dom to perform a family ritual with them. So Dom's family lives in a secluded village and they're this religious cult who pray to a deity called Mother Buddha. Upon their arrival to the village, the cult asks the trio to submit their names to the Mother Buddha and tells the trio that they must come every 10 years to pray to Mother Buddha. An elderly woman tells Ronan that she has to submit the name of the little girl growing in her tummy after she is born, indicating that Ronan is pregnant, which Ronan wasn't even aware of this whole time. The cult also warned the trio to stay away from a secret tunnel that is forbidden and is not to be visited at all costs. That night, the trio sneak out of their room and come across the cult worshipping by making this odd praying sign with their hands. A little girl who was amongst the worshippers spots the trio filming them and comes up to them. She asks the trio if they want to see something cool and takes Ronan only to a room where she shows her a box with frogs and the girl feeds the frog strands of hair. Then the room starts to shake like an earthquake is happening and the little girl starts chanting the same exact incantation that Ronan tells us to memorize in the beginning of the movie into Ronan's ear until one of the cult members finds both Ronan and the little girl in the room and shoos them out since they weren't supposed to be in there. The cult members then lock the trio inside of their room, but Yuan manages to break open the door. The trio then go to the forbidden tunnel to explore and see what's inside there that is preventing everyone from stepping foot into the tunnel. When the trio arrive to the tunnel, they see the little girl who is now unconscious and is covered in runes laying in front of the entrance of the tunnel. So Yuan breaks the door to the tunnel and they all hear screams of a child coming from inside. The trio assume that there are children who are trapped inside the tunnel by the cult members, and Yuan and Dom go to investigate and leave Ronan outside to look after the little girl until they come back. A little while later, Yuan runs out of the tunnel screaming hysterically and ends himself, and Dom's lifeless body is carried out of the tunnel by some of the cult members. Then we see some of the cult members standing outside covered in runes, and some of them are also on fire. Ronan ends up seeing all of this and freaks out and leaves the village. A couple of months later, Ronan gives birth to Dodo and leaves her at a foster care home as Ronan couldn't take care of Dodo because her mental health was declining and she needed to seek psychiatric help. Fast forward 6 years later, Ronan is now in a better condition and brings Dodo back home with her conditionally as there is an evaluation period where Ronan will be assessed to see whether she is mentally fit to keep custody of Dodo. Over the next few days, Dodo starts to act weird and we see her walking around at night, and she also tells her mom that an entity called Baddie lives on her ceiling fan, and we also see Dodo jumping off of her apartment building and emerging back up unharmed like nothing happened. Dodo also gets really sick over the next few days. Seeing all of this, Ronan's mental health starts declining again and social workers decide to revoke Ronan's custody rights. However, the sympathetic foster home manager Ming helps Ronan escape with Dodo. Ronan and Ming then take Dodo to a shrine where a priest and his wife agree to put their lives at risk by performing an exorcism on Dodo. The wife warns Ronan and tells her that in order for Dodo to heal from the curse, she must not eat for 7 days. However, a couple of days later, Ronan notices that Dodo is getting weak from not eating and runes are appearing all over her body, so Ronan decides to feed Dodo some pineapples. Right after feeding her this, Dodo starts to vomit, indicating that the exorcism no longer works. Ronan rushes Dodo back to the shrine to seek help from the priest and his wife, only to find them dead. Meanwhile, Ming gets a hold of the footage from inside the tunnel that was shot by Yuan and Dom during their last moments. The footage reveals Dom bashing his head against the tunnel walls and ending himself, and Yuan getting possessed before being killed by unseen forces. Ming then sends a video to Ronan explaining that he watched the footage, and every time he watched it, he started to feel unwell. He tells Ronan that he will not be sending her the tunnel footage because he believes that the footage is cursed and is causing him to become weak. However, Ming gets possessed and ends himself by bashing his head on the laptop keyboard, which accidentally sends the tunnel footage to Ronan. Ronan realizes that she has no way out of this and decides to go to the Forbidden Tunnel to put an end to Dodo's curse. Before leaving, she creates a video for Dodo asking Dodo to forget about her and to live life to the fullest. Ronan arrives to the tunnel with runes now appearing all over her face, and she asks the viewers to say the incantation along with her one more time. A video is then shown revealing that the incantation is not a blessing, but it is a Minnan dialect that translates to, "I wish to share in this curse and offer up my name." And the symbol shown throughout the movie is actually a spell for diffusing Mother Buddha's curse onto strangers, indicating that Mother Buddha is actually a malevolent entity. And the more people bearing the curse, the more diluted it becomes. The Mother Buddha's face is the heart of the curse, and it is always covered up and is never to be looked at. The video ends with Ronan apologizing to us viewers and says that she lied about the incantation being a blessing and is in fact a curse, and that she had no other way to save Dodo, and that by manipulating people into seeing this video, aka the movie, then perhaps Dodo's curse will be lessened. Ronan then shifts the camera towards the Mother Buddha statue, which has a red cloth covering her face. Ronan asks us to give our name to her and unveils the cloth, revealing Mother Buddha's face, indicating that the curse has been now passed on to us as Ronan ends herself.